Welcome back to Learn English Naturally. Today we're going to take a deep dive into something that I think we can all relate to. Shoe shopping vocabulary.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah. So imagine this. You're traveling, maybe you're in, a country where English isn't the main language, and suddenly you need a new pair of shoes.
Happens all the time.
Yes. You've got to be prepared for this. So that's what we're going to focus on today.
It's so interesting how something so simple like buying shoes can feel so complicated when you're trying to do it in a different language.
Right. Like you don't realize how many words and phrases you actually use until you're trying to do it in a different language.
Yeah.
So let's start with the very, very basics. Where do we even begin?
Well, the most basic word you need is shoe store.
Shoe store.
But even then, it's not just about the word. It's like, okay, what do you do with that word? How do you use that?
Exactly. How do you use it in a sentence?
Yeah. How do you actually go and find a shoe store?
Right. So I might say something like, excuse me, is there a shoe store nearby? Or, excuse me, do you know where I can find a store that sells athletic shoes?
That's a good one.
Yeah, something like that.
Exactly. And then once you're in the store, you're going to see all kinds of shoes. Sneakers, boots, sandals, loafers.
Ooh, loafers.
That's a good one.
Loafers.
Yeah, loafers is a very particular kind of shoe.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how some words like sandals sound pretty similar across different languages.
Yeah.
But then you have words like loafers that are kind of unique to English.
I've always wondered why that is.
Well, it could be because sandals have been around for centuries.
Yeah.
Like they're ancient footwear found in so many different cultures.
Although that makes sense.
So the word probably evolved from a common root, but loafers are a much more recent invention.
Oh, okay.
So maybe they have a more specific cultural origin.
Interesting.
Yeah, which led to a more unique word.
It's like a little history lesson.
Yeah.
Hidden within our vocabulary lesson.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say I've spotted the perfect pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Now I need to figure out my size.
All right, so this is where you need those key phrases. Like you could say, do you have these in a size 8? Or could I try these on in a size 9?
And then what about when you try them on and you need to describe how they fit? Like if they're too tight or too loose.
Ooh, yes. These are crucial.
Yeah, just right.
Because it's not just about the size number, it's about communicating how the shoes actually feel.
Right.
So you might say something like, these feel a bit snug, or they're pinching my toes.
They're pinching my toes.
Yeah, to really explain why that size isn't working for you.
Okay, so we found the store, we've asked for our size, we've described the fit. What's next?
Before we get to trying them on, I think we should talk about pronunciation for a second.
Oh, pronunciation.
Yeah.
That's important.
Because some of these words can be tricky.
Especially for someone who's, learning English.
Exactly. Like take loafers, for instance.
Loafers.
That O-O sound.
Loafers.
It can be tough. You really want to focus on rounding your lips and making that long O sound, followed by a short sound. Loafers.
Loafers. I'll see.
And then another one that can be challenging is leather.
Oh, leather. Yeah.
That the sound is so important. So put your tongue between your teeth and let the air flow out gently. Leather.
Leather. Okay, I think I'm getting it.
Good. Because clear pronunciation is really going to help you have a smoother shopping experience.
Absolutely. It can make all the difference.
Yeah.
Now I'm ready to put on those shoes and see how they really feel.
Okay, great. So let's say you're trying on a pair of boots. You might need some help. So you could say, could you help me zip these up?
Could you help me zip these up?
Or maybe you're struggling with the laces. So you could say, these laces are a bit tricky. Could you show me how to tie them?
Yeah, these laces are a bit tricky. Could you show me how to tie them?
Exactly. And then, of course, if you need a different size, you've got to be able to ask for that.
Right. So I might say, could I try these in a size smaller?
Yeah.
Do you have these in a half size larger?
Perfect. And don't forget to actually say what you think about the shoes.
Oh, right.
Tell them these are really comfortable. Or,
These are really comfortable.
I love the style of these boots.
I love the style of these boots.
You really express your opinion.
What if I need to see how they look? Can I ask for a mirror?
Oh, absolutely. You could say, excuse me, is there a mirror nearby? Or could I use the mirror over there?
Okay, so we found the store asked for our size, described the fit, practiced our pronunciation, tried on the shoes, and even expressed our opinion.
Yeah.
I feel like we're really making progress.
We are. We've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive, but there's still so much more to explore.
Okay, I'm ready for more.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so I've got the perfect shoes, they fit great, and I'm ready to make them mine.
Okay. So now you're heading to the checkout. That's where knowing a few key phrases can really come in handy.
Yeah, because I don't want to mess that up.
Right.
What should I say when I get to the cashier?
You could keep it simple. Just say, I'd like to buy these, please, or I'm ready to check out.
I'm ready to check out. Easy enough.
Yeah. And then, of course, you'll need to ask about the price.
Right. How do we do that politely?
Well, you have a few options. You can say, how much are these? Or
Oh.
what's the total for these shoes?
Oh, and what if I'm hoping for a discount? Is it okay to ask about sales or promotions?
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
very common. You can ask, are these shoes on sale?
Yeah.
Or do you have any discounts on these?
And can I be more specific? Like, could I ask about a student discount or a senior discount?
Yes, definitely. It never hurts to ask.
Okay, good to know. Now, let's say the cashier tells me the total and I'm ready to pay.
Okay, so then you need to let them know how you're going to pay. You could say, I'll pay with cash, or
That's it.
I'd like to use my credit card, or can I pay with a debit card?
And I should probably have that payment method ready to go.
Yes, definitely. And avoid that awkward fumbling in your wallet moment.
Oh, and speaking of awkward moments, what about returns? Should I ask about the return policy before I buy the shoes?
That's a really good idea. It's always smart to know the policy just in case. You can ask, what is your return policy? Or
Yes.
can I return these shoes if they don't fit?
And what if I want to know about exchanges instead of returns?
You could say, do you offer exchanges? Or can I exchange these for a different size or color?
This is all so practical. It's making me feel much more prepared for my next shoe shopping trip.
Good, I'm glad. And remember, even if you make a mistake, just stay confident. Most people are understanding, especially if they see you're trying.
Right. Okay, so we've covered the checkout. We've talked about discounts and return policies. Is there anything else we need to know before we leave the store?
Well, sometimes you might need a little extra help from the salesperson. Maybe you're looking for something specific and you're not sure how to describe it.
Oh, yeah. I could see that happening. What should I do in that situation?
Well, you could try saying something like, excuse me, I'm looking for some comfortable walking shoes. Could you point me in the right direction? Or if you have something more specific in mind, you could say, I'm looking for a pair of black leather boots with a side zipper. Do you have anything like that?
And what if I'm looking for a particular brand?
You could ask, do you carry the brand? And then say the name of the brand. Or do you sell shoes from? And then say the brand name.
Those are good. I feel like having these phrases ready to go will really make me feel more confident about asking for help.
Exactly. And remember, don't be afraid to use gestures or even draw a picture if you're having trouble explaining something verbally.
Yeah, sometimes a visual aid can be really helpful. Okay, so we've covered the checkout process, we've learned how to ask for help, and we've even talked about nonverbal communication. What else is there to learn on our shoe shopping vocabulary journey?
Well, before we wrap up, I think we need to talk about those beyond the basic situations. You know, those unexpected things that might come up during your shopping trip? Are you ready for a challenge?
Bring it on. I'm feeling much more confident now.
All right, let's test that confidence with a few tricky scenarios.
All right, lay those tricky scenarios on me.
Okay, so you found those perfect shoes, the ones you absolutely love, but you spot a small defect.
Oh, no. What do you do?
Well, I wouldn't want to be rude about it.
Right.
I think I'd try to be polite and just point out the problem. Maybe something like, excuse me, I noticed a small scratch on this shoe. Would it be possible to see another pair?
Okay, good. Now, what if they say that's the only pair left in your size?
Ooh, then I might try to negotiate a discount.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, I might say something like, since this is the last pair and it has a slight defect, would you be willing to offer a discount?
Nice. You're standing your ground, but still being respectful about it.
Exactly. Now, here's a scenario I'm kind of worried about. What if there's a language barrier? Like, I'm trying to explain what I need, but the salesperson just doesn't understand me.
That can definitely happen. So in that situation, you might want to simplify your language. Use really basic vocabulary.
Maybe even point to things or use gestures.
Right. So I might say something like, need shoes walk. Comfortable.
Exactly. And then you could point to your feet and mime walking.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, now for another challenge. What if I need a specific shoe accessory, but I can't remember the word for it in English?
That's where your descriptive skills come in.
Okay, so let's say I need insoles.
Right.
I could say something like, need soft part, inside shoe, for comfort.
Perfect. And what about shoe polish?
Okay. How about this? Need cream. Make shoes shiny black.
I like it. You're really thinking outside the box and using language creatively.
Well, I have to give you credit. You've given me a lot to think about today.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
I feel so much more prepared to tackle any shoe shopping situation now.
That's the goal.
We've covered everything from basic vocabulary to tricky scenarios and even cultural nuances.
And don't forget about pronunciation.
Oh, yeah. Got to practice that VO sound in leather.
That's the one.
Well, I think it's time to wrap up this episode. It's been a real shoe shopping extravaganza.
It has. And remember, the most important thing is to relax and have fun with it.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we learn.
So true.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive into shoe shopping vocabulary.
Happy shopping, everyone.
And to all our listeners, be sure to subscribe to Learn English Naturally for more fun and engaging language learning adventures. We'll see you next time.